Hi, welcome to the Traffic Masters Academy.
Hi, we're Sue and Jerry Smart. What, traditional marketing? Yes, it still works, and it has done for many years.
Backgrounds. Well, where do we come from? I'm a former printer and Sue's a former hairdresser. And for 35 years I was in the printing industry. And in that time I had good times and bad times, as we all do in business. But one thing occurred to me not long into owning those businesses was that we had become literally the tax collectors for the government. Staff, yes, we had some great staff, and yes, again, we had some other staff that decided that, they didn't want to turn up all the time. And what happens then? The buck stops with you as the business owner. You have to cover for those people. So many of a night I'd have to come home, help Sue with the kids, and then go back to work. Not a lot of fun, really. And I think you'll find that also I found that I was chasing technology in a particular branch of the printing industry that I was in. So we had to buy equipment to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars each time. And that sort of like had to be backed by somebody's house. And whose house was that? That was mine. So at the end of the day, it was great. There were some great benefits from tax advantages maybe, and also never paid for a car for 20 years. But I do believe the downside outweighs the good side long term, and you really only end up with a well-paid job.
Now, I had my hair and beauty salon for over 20 years and was very passionate about it and really loved owning that business. But once we had children, that did change a bit. I thought that a traditional business would give us lifestyle, give us time with our children, but boy, was I wrong. So with 4 children, the majority of their time they were in childcare. And I had to start work often at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday and never got to go to their dancing lessons, soccer lessons, any of that sort of thing. And often had to work Thursday night, sometimes till 9. So I was always out there looking for other ways to make money, thinking, I wouldn't want to be owning my salon, the rest of my life. I was really into personal development, and I went to a Tony Robbins seminar where I was actually prospected for a multi-level marketing business. So introduced to that, and we did that for 6 years. And look, we did get bonuses every year and free trips also for 6 years. But it wasn't the sort of income we were used to. We didn't make the money that we really were promised and we thought we would make. And it got to the stage where we were starting to panic. We'd given up our traditional businesses, thinking we'd make a lot of money in the online businesses, and then were introduced to a investment strategy where we lost $760,000. So really started panicking then. What are we going to do? And then one day I answered an ad in a newspaper. So this is where traditional marketing really works. And answered this little ad, was sent to a website and started making money immediately. And it was called a top tier direct sales business. And by our 4th month, we had made $70,000. So $70,000 in a month. So that was it. I was hooked for life. And went on to win many prizes for being top income earners in the industry, and won things like iPads, iPods, TVs, cameras. We won gold and silver, big cash bonuses, and we even won a BMW Z4. So very profitable.
So we're here today and we're going to talk about growing your business from the ground up. What we're going to be talking about in this training is about building your business from the ground up. So what does that mean? It's about finding people and building your list of people that you can contact and do business with. Either do business with or get into your business with you. So we have primarily done a lot of the stuff that's already out there and been spoken to on a lot of other trainings, Facebooks and all the online marketing as well. But we're a bit old school, and we do come from a traditional marketing background as well, as I spent all that time in the printing industry. So we do know that stuff still works, and not so many people were doing it. So we are going to be talking about 3 of the big things that we found works for us, and one of those is attending live events. The other one would be, as I said, traditional marketing. That's your flyers, business cards, etc. And also, I really want to go over what we call the follow-up, because there's an old saying out there that the fortune is in the follow-up. So, let's start. Where do we first start at? Free paid seminars. When I say free paid seminars, what I mean is that there's lots of free seminars out there you can go to, and there are also some that you have to pay. Now, normally you don't have to pay much. It could be $25 to $50, and that's fine. When we were first told about this, we thought, well, what kind of seminars are there out there? And we had to look, we Googled it. So we found things like there were property seminars, investment seminars, personal development seminars, internet marketing seminars. There are meet-up groups for various industries and projects and hobbies. There's business groups, sporting groups, political groups, if that's for you. There's women's groups, breakfast meetings, network lunches, and trading groups. It's endless. And once you go to one of their functions and you get on their mailing list, they will mail you lots and lots of other things that are coming up in the future and you can go to. I can remember, and it really struck home to me, we was going to a breakfast meeting one morning and we were driving towards the centre of Sydney, and we were in 3 lanes deep of traffic. We had to pull off, thankfully, at the Spit Bridge to have a nice breakfast overlooking the water there, and then we just sat there and watched the traffic going past while we was at this meeting, and it really struck home how much we didn't want to be in that traffic anymore.
So we're going to talk about personal contact marketing. Well, why would you pick personal contact marketing? Well, it's great for people that don't have a lot of money set aside for paid marketing. It's also just an additional marketing avenue on top of other marketing strategies. Also, it's free and anyone can do it, and it's been proven to work for many, many years. So if your business is good enough for you, then why do you think it's not good enough for people you know or know of? And there's a quote that I once read that says, "The richest people in the world build networks and everybody else looks for work." So you may think that you don't know of many people, but if you really thought about it, you'd be surprised about exactly how many people you actually do know or know of. So why would you go to seminars? Well, I personally like to go to seminars to educate myself. It's always a good idea to learn how to invest and grow the money you're earning to build generational wealth. I particularly like personal development seminars, as these are good because you'll find out that the more you grow yourself, the more that your wealth will also grow. To me, it seemed pretty obvious that many people at these seminars are like-minded people. They're people looking for the same things that you are, to grow themselves and their income. These are the right kind of people because they could be at home with their family, at the beach or at a barbecue with their friends, but instead they're giving up their leisure time to sit for days in a seminar and educate themselves. So how would you find seminars for your particular industry? So look, if you're in the real estate industry, you would just Google real estate seminars. If you're in the hair and beauty industry, you just Google hair and beauty seminars, etc., etc. So look, for online and home businesses, internet marketing seminars would be a very good choice. Also, personal development and property investing seminars would be great places to meet good customers and prospects, no matter what type of industry. At these seminars, you'd be collecting business cards. But the usual consensus is that you give everyone you meet your business card. Well, I've found over the last 30 years of being business owners that this is not really the best way to get lots of new business. The best way to generate new sales for your business is to collect the business cards of your prospects or potential new customers. I previously used to give out my business cards, but over many years have realised that I've never received one call by doing this. Whereas I've generated a huge growth in my business by collecting other people's business cards. I only hand my business cards to people that actually ask me for one. Now, my business cards are very specific about what we actually do, and you should actually make your cards the same. So if someone looks at your card, they should know what industry you are in. They don't need to, half guess. So we have a lifestyle business working from any destination we desire with our laptop and our phone. So the picture on the front of our card is of us in an exotic location. Now on the back of the card, it gives people specific instructions. For instance, it says, go to the website now. We've also got our phone numbers and Skype address on the back. The phone number, email address and website has to be large enough so that anyone can read without having to wear glasses. I see people's business cards all the time that have details that you can barely read because all the details have been printed so small. So what do you say to get someone's business cards? People always ask me what I say to get someone's card. I just introduce myself, ask how they're enjoying the particular seminar they're at, and just ask them, do you have a business card? Now, occasionally, they may ask me why. Why do you want my business card? And I just reply, because it's always good to connect with like-minded people, and I also tell them that I may have someone interested in what they have to offer and could pass on their details. I'm often surprised at how many business people don't carry their business cards on them. Always have a notepad on hand for instances like this. I ask them to quickly jot down their name, email, phone number, and their business details. I also put details in my phone and file their business cards away with any additional information that they give me written on the back of the card for future reference. So just to give an example how profitable it is going to seminars, from just one seminar I attended, I made $68,500 net. What to say when you call back. When you call, introduce yourself and say which seminar you met them at. Then ask a few questions about what they got out of the seminar. And then, look, this is an example of what to say next. This example of what to say next could be for someone that is marketing an online business model, i.e. making money from home. It could also be someone that is marketing a course on property investing, renovating, property developing, or even a course on FX trading. You would ask them if they are open to looking at additional income streams using one of the above strategies or business models. For traditional business models, you would ask completely different questions. For example, let's say you're a real estate agent looking for more business. You would ask the question, are you looking to buy or sell a property in the near future? Then give them the benefits of using your service. For an owner of a hair or beauty salon, you could say, are you happy with the service you're receiving at the salon you're going to at the moment? Or would you be open to trying a new look and experience somewhere else? Tradesmen, for example, plumbers, electricians, glazers, etc. Look, you may have met them at a home renovating seminar. This is what you'd say. Hi John, I don't know if you remember me. My name's Peter. We met at the home renovating show and you mentioned that you're not happy with the last tradesman you were using. Or you could say, you mentioned you were looking to renovate a house and were on the lookout for a reliable plumber. I would love to have a look and quote the job for you.
So now we come to lead generation. There's loads of ways of finding leads around, and a lot of the popular ones that we've been used to are in, shall we say, the print media. Now, different types of print media. You have newspapers. What have you got in newspapers? You've got display advertising and classifieds. Personally speaking, classifieds work the best. We've used them over the years, and you can do small, free line adverts, very cheap and easy to run. And these are immediate out there into the marketplace because obviously there's a daily newspaper normally. Next thing is magazines. Now we've had some great success with magazines as well, both locally and internationally. Now these magazines also have longevity because, as you probably know, if you've ever been to the doctors or dentist, you will find old magazines there. And I remember a few years ago we produced an advert, and at the time we were trying to market into South Africa. In fact, we had some friends that were South African and were going back on holiday, and we asked them, whilst they was over there, if they could look around to see what type of magazines were available within our niche in the industry. They did. They came back. They gave us some entrepreneurial magazines, and we then phoned the company out, got a good rate for them. It wasn't cheap at the time. I seem to remember it was something like $3,500 for a full-page advert. But we did that, and we had some good results from it. But lo and behold, over the next 3 to 4 years, we kept getting contacts from that advert from people finding them in doctors and dentist surgeries. So it was quite amazing, and it turned out to be a very good value for money. Next on the agenda is more traditional marketing. Now, I don't know if you've ever been driving around in your car and you've seen bandit signs on lampposts and traffic lights advertising everything from weight loss to pills and potions and everything else out there. Well, we have over the years produced some bandit signs. We've had mixed results with those ones, but I know other people have had great results with them. We had a young couple involved with one of our businesses, and they mainly got most of their contacts and sign-ups within their business through bandit signs. So that's fantastic, and I don't know if anyone's ever been to San Juan at all. We've been there several times now, and that is the land of the bandit signs, believe me. Everywhere you go there, you can't help but see bandit signs for every known product on planet Earth there. It's really, really amazing. Flyers is up next, and it's an old favourite of mine. In my days of running graphic art studios, we used to produce thousands of these for all different types of industries for different people. They can be very effective, but people have got to know the stats and what to do with them. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that not only do you do, say, 1,000 of them around your local area, what you've actually got to do is 1,000 of them around your local targeted area, and then you do that one week, and then you do it the next week, and then you do it the following week, and you do it the following week as well. So really you're doing 4,000 down the same area. So what we learnt from that was that you get, maybe, if the wind's blowing in the right direction and all the stars are in alignment, a maximum of a 4% return on your investment. But depending what your investment is, that 4% can be absolutely massive. So keep that in mind. You've got to keep repeatedly targeting the same area. Over the years, of course, we've also used drop cards, postcards and magnets as well. And they're all effective in their own way, but you've got to know where to use them, how to use them. One example I can think of magnets, for instance, and actually stickers as well. I had a client come into work and he walked in, he was actually a friend of mine, and he said, I want you to do me 1 million stickers and 1 million magnets. Now, this guy was in the plumbing industry. His speciality was hot water services. But he really made his money on the late night call outs when your hot water breaks down. He knew that by putting his magnets on the fridges in people's houses and the stickers directly on the tanks, that when they broke down, when they were looking to see whether, i.e. say the fuse had gone or the pilot light had gone out, his name was right in front of everybody looking for it. And I'll tell you, when you come home from work at 9 o'clock of the night and you want a hot shower and your water's not working, you'll pay anything to get that going. And over the years, that guy made a fortune by running that business, all because of his stickers and his magnets. Classified adverts we were talking about a bit earlier on. Our recommendation for you is to just do no more than a 3-line advert. I've got a couple of examples here, and this is based on our niche in the market. How about idiot makes tons of money looking for others to do the same? Call, and then you either put your phone number or your website. And that has been quite effective. One that earned us, I remember now, it cost us $65 to place. I think it was for 5 days in 5 local newspapers. Was turn your computer into an ATM, not MLM, call and then the number or the website. And out of that advert, for that $65, I know that we made over $4,000 in sales. So was that worth it? Absolutely. So next up, we've got display advertising. As we spoke about earlier, we placed that ad in the newspaper in South Africa, and it just went on forever. But you don't have to have the money for full-page adverts. We built up to that over a period of time. But start off with little quarter pages, 8 pages, 2 columns, 1 columns. All of these magazine owners have been struggling over the last few years, so you can really get some good deals now with these type of display adverts. And if you're half handy, you can put them together yourself, save yourself a bit of money. And yet again, a lot of these magazine owners now will, in the price of putting them in there, will actually do the artwork for you. So that's pretty neat stuff. But as Sue was saying earlier on when she was talking about getting the business cards, produced and that. Always in all of your advertising, make sure it's clear and precise what you're about, what the benefits of your business are to the people out there, and what you can do for them. And also, very importantly, your contact details. You know, put your website on there, your phone number, email address. Make sure people can get in contact with you. It's very, very important. Okay, next slide is flyers, postcards, drop cards, etc. Well, over the years we've had lots and lots of experience with this, and we've had lots and lots of fun with it. I can remember in particular we did a drop card, which is basically a business card, sized little flyer on a card, either one or two sided. This particular one was one. It was bright yellow with just black writing on it. And it said, if I can work from my home part-time and make over $4,000 per week, so can you, and I'll prove it. But you have to call this number, and it had our 1-800 number on there. Then underneath that it said, if you don't call, enjoy what you're presently doing. You'll probably be doing it, and then in big white letters on a black background, forever. And it was very cheeky, but very effective. We had quite a few phone calls about that one. It was fantastic. The little $100 split notes that we did, they were something I first saw in America years ago, and we produced an Australian version of it. Only we didn't just have a note outside. We split a 50 and 100 in half, stitched them in reverse order to what they would be on a real note, so no one could ever mistake them for being a real one, except from a distance. And when you folded them in half, and then what you could do is, I remember one day we were flying back down to Sydney from Brisbane, and our flight got delayed. We had several hours in the airport terminal. So what we were doing was going into the coffee lounges, having a coffee and leaving them on the tables, and the waitresses were running around going, excuse me sir, you've left a $100 note or $50 note on the table. We literally dropped them on the floor and sat to the side and watched people as they walked down the corridors and that, and spotting these notes on the floor and, you know, quickly bending down to pick them up. And then when they opened them up, they saw our message inside. It was quite fantastic. And we actually got a real heap of replies from that. It was fantastic. It was a brilliant piece of marketing, if I say so myself. Another card we produced was, it was really quite funny, and it's something that we learnt by our mistakes as well, because on it originally we had, do you think it's possible to earn $50,000 a month? And on the back of the card, one side it was split, it said no, please recycle, and on the other side it says yes, and then it had our contact details. Now, I thought they were brilliant at the time, and we got them out there in the marketplace, and we were getting some results from it. But what we soon learned was that $50,000 a month for a lot of people seemed so far out there it wasn't possible. So what we did was we changed it to $20,000 a month, and again the results just took off for us. It was absolutely brilliant the way that went off. Something else you can do are postcards, and a lot of people forget about these. Now, different types of postcards. When we first got marketing, we found out how to do very cheap postcards because our budget wasn't very high at the time. And so what we did was, on our computer, we set up our message. And as you can see on that example on the screen there, I think our one was make $10,000 a month from home, mailing cheap, simple postcards each week, etc. What I did was I set that up on our computer and set that up 4 up, so as it printed out on an A4 sheet off our little laser printer. I then took that down to the local office works, and I got them to print 100 sheets on as thick as possible bright yellow card. And then I asked the lady very politely, could she cut them in 4 for me? And it wasn't an equal cut either, the way she did them, but it didn't matter. I went from 100 to 400 by the time she cut them up into 4. And then we got back home, and on the back we hand wrote, we found out that this is the best way to do it, we hand wrote the name and address of the people that we were sending to, stuck the stamp on and posted them off. And those cards again brought in some amazing results for us. We then went on later on to get 4 colour ones printed, but to tell you the truth, the results were no better with the 4 colour flash ones. Those simple ones worked a treat. Also in the repertoire was some bookmarkers, and these were quite funny. We just put a little message on there, and it was a message that you could give to your boss, and it read something like, I'm sorry, I've got trouble with my eyes. I can't see myself coming in tomorrow. And it was quite funny. It was a little bit of a jokey thing. We dropped a few of those around bookshops and places like that, and we got a few inquiries about that, so that was a nice cheap one to do as well. So as you can see from our marketing efforts so far, traditional marketing does work, and you don't have to spend a fortune to do it. You can start with the cheap stuff as I've explained and build up to, your full page adverts. Over the years we've even gone into co-ops with TV adverts with people, so you never know what you can end up doing in the marketplace at the end of the day. So why do we do all this? Well, you might notice now on the next slide, there's our family. And that's the reason why we do what we do. We've got 4 children, and we've now got elderly parents as well. And we've made some fantastic cash flow from our businesses. It's given us a tremendous lifestyle, which is the major component of it, believe it or not. But with the cash we have got, we've been able to treat our parents, to fly them to Venice for long weekends and meet up with them. We've flown our whole family to the United States and done all the theme parks and Vegas and that. We've taken our kids back to the UK for 5 weeks over a Christmas period, and then on to Paris. This has given us a great lifestyle, and I'm sure that if you treat it like a real job, concentrate, even if you're doing it part-time, still make sure you've got some income producing hours in the day, you can get anything you want. And we will leave you with this last slide, which is have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. Get out there, market by whatever means you can, traditional or electronic or a combination of both, and just have fun with it. Treat yourself when you make those little goals, and we wish you all the best for the future.